had a great Wednesday here at post Labor Day weekend. We have a great guest today. We're going to talk. We're going to be off a little bit of beaten path for us, and we're going to talk a little bowling and golf, and two sports that Coach Souls has coached and won a bazillion championships with. Richie was a football coach as well, but it's been a teacher for 30 plus years, and we're gonna talk a little bit about some bowling and golf and the dynamics of it and what it takes to build a team and a championship team, and then really dive right into that. So, without further ado, Coach Souls, it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me,
Coach. Just go into kind of your coaching background, if you could, and the history of your teams, and then we'll dive in from there.
Sure. Well, I'm a Butler guy, like Derek, when you graduate from Butler High School, you bleed blue and gold. So after I graduated Butler, I was fortunate enough to play on two championship teams at Butler in 82 and 83. When I graduated Butler, I started coaching at Butler in 1987. We had some lean years there, but then I had the opportunity to, work with that staff, Bob Jones, and, I coached under Jack Davies. Jack Davies was my high school coach. And then, Derek and we have some very common people in our lives. Like Jerry Crean was one of the most important, coaches I've ever had. And funny little quote that he gave me one day. I was coaching probably, 2 years coaching freshmen with him. And he pulls me to the side. He goes, "Jimmy, I'm going to tell you something right now." He goes, "I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how you're going to take it, but you're a much better coach than you were a player." But you know what? Hey, that's a guy that, he told you what it was. And that's kind of the way I coach. I take a lot of the way I coach from him, and Bob Jones and Jack Davies, and, a lot of people, Rudy Hamilton, and like Derek knows all these names. But these are like, in Butler lore, these are the names that are like the primo, the tops. And like I said, not only did I learn a lot from them, but I took a lot from them, and I instill that in what I do. And, in the sports that I coach now, I don't have to scream as much as I used to, but, I'm very regimented. I'm kind of OCD like that. If you're not on my bus at 2:30, the bus leaves without you. I don't care who you are, and that was the way, like, we ran practices back then. But I was very fortunate to, to coach under those people. And like I said, I've known Derek his whole life, he's like family to me. And like Butler, there's just something about it. The people that aren't from there, they don't get it right there.
That's right. So, and Dave's actually, and this is what really kind of sold Dave on the whole Butler thing is we had Coach Mickens on, right? And all of a sudden Dave looked and he's like, "Derek, this is like a ridiculous amount of views for something that was coming from," I said, "Dave, the entire town probably just watched this episode of every single person." He's like, "I've never seen anything like this, dude. This is crazy." And Dave went to Saddlebrook High School, so he gets the Group 1 kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he understands it. So like, but he was just in awe of like the whole, I said, "Dave, it's the same people around the place the entire time." And, like I said, when you're mentioning those names and going through it, like those were the names that we grew up, like those guys, how it was like the regimented type of structure that adds to, kind of what it is. And the Butler, the whole thing about like, I mean, look, they're still winning championships and they're still doing it a way that, most places has gone awry. Like it's no longer like that. But at Butler, it's still the same way because, like Dave says, you don't go out of your way to go to Butler. Like, you're not just passing through it and hit Butler. Like, you have to be going to Butler to get to Butler. Like, that's where it is. And for you, being a Butler guy and then going across the highway to Kinnelon High School, right? I remember when that happened and you made that move, that was like something different because you were now on the other side of the highway but you brought with you the those Butler traits, I guess that you could say, or the way that things were done, and it's shown in your program. What year did you actually stop coaching football and then got into the bowling and the golf? I believe was it bowling first or golf first?
It was golf. It was golf first. So I've been coaching golf for 14 years. And when I came to Kinnelon, it's crazy. I don't know where the time goes.
I know.
So when I was coaching football here, I was coaching with Jim DeSarno. He was the head coach of
Westfield.
Yep.
Stud.
And but then my youngest daughter, she started playing field hockey. And I always said that, when my kids, they start playing, I'm not going to miss a thing. I never missed a game, and cause obviously family's important to everybody. But that was a decision that I had to make. And it wasn't an easy decision. And to be honest with you, Jim DeSarno wasn't real happy that I made that decision. But
no, he was not.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey, I don't regret it. I would never change it the way it was, and then my younger daughter got into field hockey. Field hockey. I don't know if you've ever watched field hockey or understand it. I watched it for 8 years, still don't understand it. But, but like I said, I wasn't going to miss a game. And I don't regret it. But now, I started with the golf first. I was fortunate enough to be a volunteer for the first year, but I coached track. Originally, I coached track here for 15 years. And then
that's right. I forgot about that. You were always a track guy. I forgot about that. Yep. God damn, how could I forget that? Yeah, long time.
Mr. Barry at Butler, he was in the Maury Pal zone. They taught me a lot.
Great guy.
But like I said, I coached track here, and then that had kind of run its course, and then I took a year off and I volunteered for golf 2 years, and then the golf coach retired, and I stepped in, and I'm very fortunate. Like here at Kinnelon, we do have a couple country club kids, but not as many as you would think, because it's kind of a different, economic setup up here. But I've been very fortunate to have great kids, like golf kids and bowling kids. They're different types of athletes. You don't have to scream at them. They punish themselves mentally enough. Those games when they're not doing well.
Right.
Well, I would
That's
guess
a huge
that would be much more along the lines of psychiatrist role with them.
Yeah.
Because their sports require such precision, and any imperfection could be a loss, right? So so it's really different than ball, some of the other ball sports where
what do you call it? Greg Olson calls them stick and ball sports or something.
Yeah, they're much more forgiving. You know what I mean? So much more forgiving in failure, whereas bowling and golf are much less forgiving in failure. And failure can really a couple of failures could set you back and put you right out of the match pretty quickly, right? So I
kind of equate. Oops, sorry, lights went off here.
Okay.
But wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry. There you go.
Oh. No, you're good, buddy. Listen, that's how you know. That's how you know he's fancy,
you're out,
buddy.
So I equate to golf and bowling in some ways to wrestling. Because when you're on the mat, it's you. When you're on the tee box, it's you. When you're standing up at the line of bowling, it's you. It's you and the pins or whatever. So, but when you talk about golf, I kind of get crossover athletes. Like my hockey players are usually good golfers.
That's crazy.
Turnover baseball players are good golfers. But when you talk bowling, that's just a different type of kid. Do you want to hear the story about how the whole bowling thing happened? So
yes,
yeah.
It was a Sunday in August, probably 6 years ago. And Jim Frieda, the mayor of Kinnelon, calls me. He's like, "Jim, I need a favor." I'm like, "What's going on, Jim?" He goes, "Yeah, I need a bowling coach." I'm like, I go, "Jim, but we don't have a bowling team." He goes, "Don't worry about that. I'll take care of it." So he had a friend. His name was Tom.
Remember the type of towns you're in, Dave, right? Where the mayor just gives him a call and is like, "Hey, buddy, this is kind of what's going on. This is okay."
Yeah. So a gentleman named is Tom Sanzik, great guy, great family. He had a son, and apparently the son had some issues, with some concussions and stuff. Couldn't play contact sports anymore, but he was a really good bowler. So he goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll take care of getting the team part." So I'm like, "I'm your guy. I could do it." So next thing you know, that year, his name is Scott Sanzik, probably the most decorated individual athlete at Kinnelon High School ever. He won 3 golf championships and 2 bowling championships. He was on part of those teams. He was the Morris County champion. He made it to the latter round in the state bowling championship, placed 5th overall. But like I said, and once we started this bowling team, we got kids that like they couldn't dribble a basketball. I've had kids that couldn't barely roll a bowling ball. And these are the kids, let me tell you, they had the best SAT scores in the school, right? Great kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different type of athlete. And those kids, they're more cerebral, and they're, just building their confidence. And, once they got together and they started bowling well and winning things and winning championships, and, all of a sudden you just see them, they walk different around the hallways. And, if as a coach, if you can affect one kid, it's great. But I saw a group of like 7, 8 kids that started this program that ended up winning 2 state championships. And it's something that they never would have had if it wasn't for Coach Mr. Frieda, Tom Sanzik. But because the parent, he funded the program for 2 years. He walked in September, gave me a check, and we ran with it. And now it's a board funded sport, and the popularity is building, and we're going to be good again this year. So it's just it's a great opportunity from different types of kids.
No, it's amazing. Did you think that from playing on those, it was 82 and 83, right? You guys were won 22 straight or something crazy like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we lost the first game my senior year to Del Barton.
Oh, you did? Okay. And then but then you
still hurts. I know. Yeah.
And then you reel off the rest of the games in 83, right, for the state championship that game, right?
Yep.
The reason I kind of remember Butler is because as a kid, and Derek's obviously in a different era, but as a kid, I went to all of the Saddlebrook games, and 82, 83 was when Toll was at Saddlebrook, I believe, and that's when Toll took the 83 team to when you guys won North 2 Group 2, I think.
Yep.
And I think Saddlebrook lost in the state championship with Toll in North. I want to say North 1. They must have still been Group 2 at the time. I think Group 2. But so I remember just reading it's funny you talk about sports now with kids because they're different. Like they like YouTube and they watch all these different things. Like I knew about sports from the newspaper and going to the game.
We talk about that all the time. Like we read it on Saturday morning or on Sunday morning for us because we played Saturdays, right? Like that's just what it was.
And Butler was blue and gold, different type of blue and gold.
Different gold. Yep.
We were navy and gold, right? So
sorry.
Yep.
We were royal blue and gold.
Royal blue. Yeah. I always get a lot of shit about the gold because it's yellow. I'm like, yeah, it is, but we call it gold. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Obviously.
I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Like I had the brightest helmet in the state of New Jersey for 4 years. Well, like it's just what it was, dude. And it was just those awkward colors. Dude, you didn't see it anywhere else. It's kind of comparable to like where I am now, Dave, at Brick. Like that green, like you don't see that green, right? It's that Kelly green that like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the same. Like, really, that's the color? Like, yeah, like that's kind of what it is, Yeah, 100%. But get a lot of shit for the gold, definitely, all the time. It is what it is. But you're talking about, like I said, that's to circle back. Like when you're talking about those sports, right? It gives other kids that might not be quote athletes, right, in the mass media type of focus, right? Like they're not they're not on the football team, they're not basketball. Like you said, you're a phys ed teacher. Like they're not the ones out there ripping through, basketball or what. But when they get in that sport, and I love that you compared it to like wrestling where it's just you, because we talk about one-on-one sports all the time, Dave, like individual, right? Like track. You're competing. You're on that. You're in the blocks. Like it's you, dude. Right? It's a different level of like mental stress that adds to it. right? So how do you deal with that when it comes to those athletes? Like Dave compared to almost like more of a sports psychologist role, right? Like 100%. Like, so how do you kind of deal with that when you get a kid that's on the team, and maybe their confidence isn't like what it is, and you see them struggling? Like, how do you handle that aspect of it?
Well, it's really hard because, like, when you're talking about those types of kids that are coming out for, like, even the golf team and the bowling team, like, they typically, I don't want to say typically, but a lot of them don't have that in inner confidence, but
Right.
once they see that success, you see that carry over into the classroom, and you see that carry over, into the way they approach the game, how much they prepare for the game. It really is amazing to see the kids transform. Like, I have a senior this year, his name is Zach Kessler, and when he was a freshman, he didn't talk to anybody. He was like a dumpy little freshman, but now, like, he's
Yeah.
Now he's like 6 foot tall, and he's like an athlete. You could see he's just his aura about him. He's going to RIT next year. He's a smart kid. He went to governor's school this year, right? But he's going to be a 220 average bowler this year for us. And
Jesus.
like
Oh my God, Dave, you're like, wait, with bumpers? Like, I mean, look,
my
we
best
always look
game
at us
ever was like 195 or something like that.
Oh
ever.
yeah, but like, you know what, and like, I don't want to get into like a bunch of bowling talk, but the technology from what like we had growing up to what they have now, they have different balls. Oh yeah, different balls, different lengths. They have different weights inside the balls that make them break in different spots, and oil.
That's so cool.
The different oil patterns. It really is. It really. I got an education. Like I had no idea what was going on because I bowled like Saturday morning AJBC at Butler Bowl. And back in the 80s. Right. And now all of a sudden, these kids, they come with 6 bowling balls. It's like they bring like a rolling dresser.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So they have balls for each situation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you can change the ball like as you get like, a different frame, right? Where maybe the oil on the lane changes. You can now like go and change your ball every single time if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, you can do. Yeah, the only thing you can't doctor. You can't like the kids like sand their balls like before the matches and stuff.
Yeah. Hey man, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Like shit, give them credit for that too. Like it's like, but that's that's wild.
It really is like because they have different patterns. Like there's the way that the oil is set. Some is wider, some is set farther down, and like in these kids they bowl like all year long, and they know what pattern is. Oh, it's the chameleon. Oh, they have all their different names, and like they know which ball to use that's going to react better on which lanes, and it really is. It really is amazing.
What is it as far as
it's
as
so
far
cool.
as like a development standpoint, like as from a bowling coach and a golf coach, probably a little different, I would guess, because they probably all have their own golf coaches, a lot of them. But what how do you kind of develop what is like a practice look like? What is like the staging of development look like in those sports?
Well, to be honest with you, like golf is a tough sport to coach because every other, like when you talk about football, spring comes, you're lifting all spring, right? The last championship happens, boom, you're doing 7-on-7s, you're lifting, you're practicing as a team, and you go right into the season. Whereas when you're talking about golf, we start in March, right? And it's cold as hell in March. Right. So we start the practice range, and then after we get 2 weeks in, then we bring them up. Our home course is Berkshire Valley. We're very fortunate to have that. It's a beautiful.
Oh,
course.
Shit. That's a gorgeous course.
And it's a difficult course, but like I said, we're fortunate.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then, the kids go, we'll have like 4 or 5 practices and then we'll have a match. Right. But these kids, since we're starting in March, they haven't played since like October. So they're coming in, they have 3 months off, 4 months off before, they get to actually play in their season. So it really is. It's a tough sport, but in April, all the grass is low. So it plays different. Then as it warms up, the grass comes up and, it plays a little different as you go through the season. But, a typical practice, in first 2 weeks, we're at the range, then we're on the course for probably like 6 or 7 times. And then we'll go right into matches. And bowling is one of the only sports where like when the state sends out the schedule, like, okay, you can start on November 17th and your first match can be on November 17th because there's no practice requirement. I don't know. I guess because
it's not like you have to go through because you don't have to go through concussion protocol and acclimation period and all that other kind of stuff. Like, it's pretty good. Plus, I would assume that in those sports, like, especially bowling, I mean, obviously, geographical plays a role for golf, 100%. Because if you're a golf team down in Florida, I mean, shit, you could rip courses all year round, right? Whereas up here, like, you're kind of hamstringed. Like, hey, I can go to the range, or some places are fortunate enough to have like some simulators or whatever they have, like, to work out and that type of stuff. But bowling, I would assume that a lot of those kids, they just bowl. They go, you know what I mean? Like, they just, hey, I'm gonna go and here's what we do,
Well, they'll play.
That's a little different.
Yeah, they'll play in leagues all year long,
Right.
And it's pretty cool because they can play in leagues. They can win scholarship money. Like, a couple of my kids just placed first and second in a tournament at Booton. And like, I have these sophomore twins on my team, the Spragues, and they're going to be in the top 100 bowlers in New Jersey. They're
right.
going to. Yeah,
and that's irregardless, like, it's a factor, right? Like, they can just go and they could be in leagues with adults or kid, whatever. Yeah, they can just go and compete. And I would assume it's the same with golf, right? Like, you can just go and compete with whoever. See, Dave, that's a little different too, where like the whole age thing, right? Obviously, you compare it to football, like, you're not putting a 7th grader out there against, a senior, right? So the competition is always kind of the same, around the same level, right? Whereas bowling and golf, they can go compete against better already, right? Which kind of gives them an opportunity to elevate their game because the bar is already set up there just based on who they're competing against.
Yep, and over the summers is big for golfers because they play in the New Jersey amateurs. They play there's a bunch of different leagues that play in the summers. But like I said, that's after their season. It's like their season is done and they're just preparing for the next season. And to be honest with you, coaching golf is very rarely do you get the golf coach that is a golf pro.
Right.
I am not a golf pro. I'm a 12 handicap, but like, I can take a beginning golfer. I can work on a swing and a grip, but like some of my golfers, they have their own coaches that they spend $15,000 a year on. And I'm not going to go and tell that kid to do something different. We could talk course management, but
right. That's where I would think your role. I think the role of a golf coach would be different. Is you're not telling him, hey, hit this on this, whatever. You're just more, look, this is like the lie or whatever. You're almost like, you know what I mean? You're kind of just giving them information, allowing them to kind of go and do it, right? Whereas in football, we're calling the plays. We're telling them do this, do that, right? It's more of management, I guess, in terms of like facilitation, right? I think that's kind of and look, obviously, Farshid, who just got the head
right? They have to play on their own. You're not even allowed to say anything, right? When they're on the course, like, you have to kind of play behind them.
That's one of the best things about coaching golf. Parents can't come. So I don't. But
wow.
When you talk about golf and you talk about bowling, and it's like track or wrestling. Wrestling, you have wrestle-offs. Track, you run the fastest time you play. Golf, you have a score. Bowling, you have an average. So parents can't really complain.
No. It's clear cut, right? It's like, hey, here's the data. Here's what it is. Like,
there's nothing.
I don't know what you want. Exactly.
There's nothing to dispute. It's exactly what the score is, exactly what it is, and you are as good as your score, and that's it. Like,
you can't fake it.
Yeah. Like, coach isn't holding you back. That's what your score is. So, I think that's one of. I mean, that's always right. The same thing as track. It's one of the beauties of individual sports. Is that you're able to, and it allows you to also track your progress with actual numbers, right? So you might be doing something wrong with your swing, or you might be doing something wrong with how you're releasing the ball in bowling, but your score gives you immediate feedback overall how you're playing, right? So
Yep.
Individual frames and holes, you might do one thing right or wrong from one frame or one hole to the next, but your overall score and each time gives you that feedback of what your how you're playing.
Another really cool thing about bowling is that you'll have a varsity match on 4 lanes, and then a JV match on another 2 lanes. So let's say, Joe is bowling in the varsity match and he has like 3 open frames in a row. I can take a kid from the JV match and switch him with Joe, who's struggling a little bit. That's something you can't do in any other. You can't do that in any other sport. So it's kind of like a chess match, because you're kind of like rolling the dice a little bit. But that's just something. Like, there are some nuances that like people don't understand that makes it a little bit more fun to coach.
That is cool. That is cool. That's so you could take a guy that's So this is bowling, right? We're talking about?
Yes.
You could take a guy that's on your varsity, he's having a bad day, and then you could switch him out with a guy who's over in lane 3 over there, who's bowling his butt off today, and they could.
Yep.
Interesting. That's really
in the middle of the game. You don't even have to wait. In the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Now, how does it work in terms of like officiating? Is there like a referee? What is that person called? Does he have to wear a yellow shirt like track? Like what do they have to do it?
He's not there. There isn't one. No, it's the coaches. So no, there's no officiating golf or bowling. It's the coaches. And in golf, the kids kind of police each other. If there's a problem,
right.
Like one good thing about coaching golf is that when the kids are out in the course, we have to follow them, like, to make sure no one gets lost. So we bring our clubs too usually, and we play behind them. So it's another cool thing about golf.
You're getting a bunch of rounds in.
Yeah. You want to hear a great golf story?
Yeah, of course.
Probably 15 years ago, have this golfer just transferred up from Florida, and he's brand new, but he's a really good golfer. Right. So he's like, he's out in our first match, and I'm playing. I don't know. Do you know Todd Hartman from Hanover Park? Park Regional? He coaches over there, but he's a head basketball coach. And so we're playing, and all of a sudden the kid comes over. He's like, Coach, we got a problem. I'm like, well, what's going on? He goes, he was in the rough, and he moved a leaf, and the ball moved a quarter turn. And I go, oh my God. I'm like, well, listen up here. I go, we're not the PGA, just tell him that, you prefer that he doesn't do that. He's a real stickler for the rules, right? And then the coach goes to me, goes, which one of my guys was it? And my guy goes, no, it was Joe, but Joe's on our team. He was telling on one of the kids on our team. He was that competitive.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Listen,
I was like, and the coach looks at me and goes,
winner rules.
Yeah, listen, buddy, that different type of squirrels, man. I mean,
it always reminds me of Caddyshack, where he kicks the ball and it's like winner rules.
Yeah.
Somehow I froze in here. I'm going to come back out and come back in. You guys are good.
No, what's really cool, Coach, is like you said, like we see a lot of crossover too. I mean, look, like the guy that Warren Smith, right, who's been our QB guy, coaches 7-on-7 club with us, offensive coordinator, right? He just got a head football coaching job. Like he's been the head golf coach at Lacey since he's been there, right? And he just talks about like it's so like crazy to see that crossover, right? Same with like Farshid, right? Farshid took Mount Olive golf from like my cousin who was the head coach for so long, right? And then he just like blew it up, right? Like I mean, I used to tell him like, dude, how do you need 2 buddies to go to matches? Right? He's like, he's playing like 30 something matches a year. He said, look, I don't care if we win. I don't care if we win anything, but we are going to lead the state in matches played. Like that was always his thing, right? And then he was telling me he went down to like Florida for like a clinic, right? And before you know it, guys were like he was round tabling with a clinic on how to like expand your golf team, because he had taken it from these numbers to that numbers, right? Like it's just such a participation type thing too, to get these kids out, to be part of a team, just to like get on a bus and travel. I mean, honestly, the logistics for both are insane, because every day you're taking a bus, whether it's game practice, right, or you're going to the bowling alley, or you're going to the course, right? And I'm sure the opportunities too as well to play certain courses or those types of things is an appeal for some of these guys as well. To me, the hardest part about and obviously I'd figure it out, but to be that and to not almost like you're coaching, but I'm not directly coaching you, right? Like I'm not talking about your feet. I'm not talking about that. I think for me personally would be extremely difficult to almost not be hands off, isn't what it is, but to be more, I guess, like, kind of in the background of them. And if you need something, I'm here. I think that would be the most difficult transition, going from, coaching football or coaching basketball, or even baseball, where you're constantly coaching. Right. Yeah. How do you kind of deal with that, where you kind of like, hey, I'm not saying anything right now?
No. So like I said, these are two different sports, and, you can tell when a kid is struggling, but we'll come and I try to change it up a little bit. Like, so we'll play like a card game at bowling where you pick a card, 9-pin. Okay. You got to hit the 9-pin. Like we just change it up.
Sick.
A little bit. Yeah.
Right.
So when it comes to the coaching part of it, when I've been around 31 years, and, I always think about, I'm like, number one, I don't think I could coach football right now. The game.
I don't know. I've always changed
so much in the last 15 years that I haven't coached, and like I said, the way I used to be a butler, like making those kids doing the Monday workouts with the seniors, making them run up the hill by the scoreboard, all that stuff. And I'd probably get brought to jail on that, they used to make me have the guys do the lame dogs, for the kids that had detentions after school, I just that's the way I know how to coach. And I don't know if I could do that right now, but coaching these sports, like I said, it's a different type of athlete. It's more laid back. It did take a little while in the beginning. Like I used to run a developmental program, and I used to get 50 kids out there, and we would take we'd practice chipping on campus, and then we would take them up to Rolling Greens. I don't know if you remember that up by Newton Country Club. It's it's like a target range up there, but all beginning golfers. And you took your life in your own hands going up there. But I did that for 4 years, and
you're like, four.
I got hit twice up there, but I did it. After 4 years, not one of those developmental kids ever made a JV match.
Huh.
And it became more of a discipline type thing where kids were screwing around, and they were hitting the balls the wrong way off the tees, and they're not golf kids, just kids going just screw ups, and it really took a lot of my energy. So I just stopped doing it. So my teams, on my bowling team, I have 11 kids. I'm trying to build the program, but the 11 kids I have are pretty good.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And on my golf team, I have 18 kids. Only six play at a time on a varsity match.
That's right.
But I always tell the kids,
do they come to you? Do you have to at all go and try kids, or I guess at this point you've really won, so they're just coming to you. But how does it work at a lot of places? Do you feel like those kids just come to you that are looking to bowl and that are outstanding golfers from the get-go?
It's hard because bowling's not cool right now in Kinnelon. We won a couple state championships, but we got a bunch of rings rolling around. But these kids, they don't get it yet. I'm trying. I need that.
Right.
I need that a couple football players, football players.
Yeah, yep. I was going to just say, you need the kid at a cool table to be like, I'm bowling this year, and I don't give a shit what anybody says about it. This is what I do. And then
I could teach that athlete how to bowl, and he'll be good.
Right.
But it's getting the kids out there, and even the girls. In the beginning, we had a couple girls. Go outside for 1 second, JoJo. 1 second, okay. all right, the kids are starting to come into class.
Life as a teacher, brother. Love it.
No, I'm actually in driver's ed right now. I'm up here.
Talk about taking your life in your own hand. He does that too, Dave. He has a driving school where they do the 6 hours. He does that too. That's the other thing. Talk about taking your life in your own hands. This guy's out of his mind.
Go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I love that you found the most fun things to do and you're doing in school.
I'll be honest with you. If you talk to any high school coach, I have the 2 jobs that they want.
Yep.
The line starts in Easton, Pennsylvania, all the way to here for those 2 jobs.
Yep.
So, like I said, hopefully I'll be here I may graduate in June. I'm not sure yet what's going on, but at least 1 or 2 more years.
31's a lot, man. 31 is, I mean, listen, and you've seen it, right? And you've been in really good districts and you've done a lot of good things, man. It's really awesome. Like I said, I've known you my entire life. I've grown up around you. Your brother and my old man are like, best friends, which is crazy. Yep. It's just different. Like you chose to because I knew you as an offensive line coach, right? And that's how I grew up with Coach Scholes as the offensive line coach. And that was a different type of coach, even within football coaching itself. Like, the O-line guy is a different dude. And to see you transition and look always as a mentor when it came to like teaching or this or that, right? Like I could always bounce things off of you and you would give me that different perspective of like, Derek, like I think it has to be that way, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? Just that type of thing because you transitioned to this, right? Like, and even those sports, like you said, like it's not the, the weight room type guy or the run the fastest type guy, but all of those things still matter when it comes to the cerebral side. And that's always what I've got out of you is like the mental side of things. Like, how do you coach the mental part of even the most physical game? And it's like, hey, man, like just talk to them, have a conversation, be transparent, right? Like tell them exactly how it is and don't bullshit, right? And look, Dave can attest to it. We talked to a bunch of coaches and the ones that are extremely, successful when it comes to like the recruiting and that aspect are the ones that are extremely transparent, right? Like this is what it is. This is how it is. And I think you have to that way, especially in nowadays where, with the social media, like everything comes out, everything is visible. You have to just let it fly and kind of give them exactly what it is because kids will see through the bullshit. Parents see through the bullshit. Yep. Like that might be the biggest bonus for you too, though, is that your sports, there's no parents and playing time, it's cut and dry, right?
In bowling, there's parents. They're there. They're right on top of you, but
see, that's great. That's Dave, think about it. We thought basketball was tough, right? When that guy was like, right there, like think about bowling. Like there ain't many seats in a bowling alley, dude. Like shit. But,
as a coach with these types of kids, I think being approachable is very important. You have to build that relationship with them. You got to let the kids know you care. You put the time in, and I just think that's a huge part of coaching any sport. You have to be able to talk to your kids. And over the 31 years I've been here, these kids have changed. They're different types of kids. And sometimes I struggle with that change. But you got to find which buttons to push with each kid. And I just think the longer you're in it, the easier it gets.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. 100%. I don't want to hold you up from your class.
Okay.
But
Coach, thank you.
But it's been awesome having you on and talking a little bowling and golf. Very cool stuff.
I mean, look, it's awesome because Dave's son, what's Troy's 11? 10, 11, what's Troy? 10. Listen, he's had him out there golfing, dude. Like, he's tried it. Like, they go out and go. And, because he's just
pretty good, but he didn't like the heat. Meanwhile, he puts a football pads on in 90 degrees. So figure that out.
Got it.
Figure that out.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, guys, thank you so much for having me, guys. You guys are doing a great service to everybody. I enjoy your podcast. You guys have a great day.
All right, Jim.
Appreciate it, buddy. See you later. Right. Thanks, buddy.
Peace. Thanks, D-Rock.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
It was awesome. Really appreciate it.
Took myself off the stage accidentally.
All right, boys.
Stuff. All right. See you later, Coach.
Guys. Peace. Bye-bye.
All right. So yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was
So,
awesome, man.
I haven't bowled in a while.
Funny, dude.
I haven't
Dude, I
bowled in
don't
a while.
listen. That stuff's really hard, man. That stuff's really hard. Like,
I like
the
bowling.
bowling stuff is. Look, I love it. It gives it. You know what I mean? I'm not very at it, like, but I mean, it's fun. I mean, honest, obviously, like, when I was teaching, special ed and whatnot, like, we went every 2 weeks, right? And we would teach kids, and they loved it, right? And it was awesome. And they used to laugh because they're like, Coach D, you're coach football, but you can't bowl for shit. Like, yeah, I know, dude. Like, this ain't my gig. It's funny to hear too the science of it, right? Like, these kids know, hey, the oil is this way. I'm going to use this ball, or I'm going to use that ball. That stuff.
I did not know
and
that
you
they
think
use multiple balls. I didn't know that.
No, and dude, I'm sure there's so many
No
things like that
idea.
across the board that we have no idea about, right? Because it's just not our world. I mean, and for him, like, you know what I mean? Like, he invests in his kids, dude. He really cares. He's like he said, being approachable. Like, he is that phys ed teacher. You know what I mean? I'm sure if we like had a free throw contest, he would drill free throws than any of us could, because he's a phys ed teacher, man. That's what he does. I didn't even get into the whole thing about, like, dude, he might be the best pickleball player that either like we've seen, because
Really
he does
good.
it in gym class. Oh, dude, nasty. And when I started playing, right, and we would post or whatever, he would hit me up and laugh. He'd be like, dude, I've been doing this for 20 years. Welcome to the best game that no one knows about, right? Because whenever that pickleball lesson session would come up, dude, he's there, and he's every day in phys ed, dude. Like, and it was it's just really funny, man. But it's definitely interesting to see the transition from, obviously, like, our big time sports, like, like he talked about it, football guy, track guy, right? Like, he did all of that, and then it was like, hey, my daughters are hockey. The time is going to be, not what it is. I don't feel like missing my daughter's game, so I'm going to make that decision and run with it. But he still found a way to coach sports that, you know what I mean, could give him that fix of coaching. And like I said, he's been doing it for a really long time, dude. He does a lot within the school. He does programs with, the Special Olympics, and does all that kind of stuff too. And like I said, he owns a driving school. So, those mandatory hours you have to do, like, he's the guy you go to up there. And I mean, talk about taking your life in your own hands. My God, not everybody's like, you know what I mean? Like, could you imagine? No thanks, dude. Like, I'm not getting in a car with a dude that's never driven before and been like, hey, are you good? Sure, I'm good. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, no, it's a there's no doubt that that's a difficult. I mean, it's funny how that changed. Like, when I was in high school, driving was it was actually part of phys ed, believe it or not. So
right, like the 6 hours were part of what you had to do in school, right?
You did it. We did it in school.
Yeah. Like during your class periods, right?
Correct. So I would go. My father taught. All of them taught driver's ed. So I'm sure Jim originally was doing driver's ed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he saw a market for it and was like,
well,
dude,
they got rid of
every
it.
kid.
They got rid of
right. Yes.
I'm not sure why they got rid of it in the school.
Liability, dude. Liability. 100% liability. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Absolutely. Think about it. Like, you crash a car all of a sudden, or somebody gets hurt, like, that's on the school rather than it be on some third party. But he saw the market. Like, hey, every kid has to do 6 hours. Okay.
And he has his certification.
He already had, correct. All he has to do is go get a car. Hey, I'll get a Ford Focus. Coach Mickens worked at the Ford dealership. Here's your Ford Focus. Go.
You get that. I think you have to have that second brake or put in or something, right?
Like the wheel on the other side and shit. Yeah. I remember, dude, I had no clue. I got in. I was driving with first time I got in a car. The guy's like, what are you doing with your other foot? I'm like, I don't know. Don't you work the pedals this way? He's like, no, dude, 1 foot. Okay. I was on freaking Route 80 fucking day one. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, me too. Whatever. I remember I got out of
I'm like, oh,
I was like, yeah, baby.
Let's go. Here we go. Pedal. He's like, hey, buddy, keep it under 70. I'm like, everybody's passing me. He's like, they know, like, this is Route 80. Yeah, no, it's and like I said, dude, he touched on a lot of names for the history of Butler football. Like, he played on, obviously, teams. I mean, they went undefeated in 2 years, those years. Like, they were freaking unbelievable in the early 80s. But then when he coached there, it kind of dipped. He was in the whole transition to the run and shoot. Like, when Coach Jones made that decision, it was because they hadn't been good in a couple years. And Coach Souls was like one of the first line guys to be like, guys, we're in 2-point stances. Like, and guys were like, what are we talking about? Right. Like, so he was part of that change over. And then obviously that 94 team that was undefeated for Butler, like unbelievable. All the track stars on that. That was kind of like, I'm going to say his either last year or right before his last year when he went to Kinnelon. And then he coached with Coach DeSarno, who we've known field like unbelievable, right? Like, he got his start in Kinnelon. So, and then transitioned from there. So he's been around Kinnelon for a really long time. Obviously, we've had Coach Baiduke on, who was his athletic director, and then transitioned to Mountain Lakes basketball. Mike's on, right? We've had him on one of our first episodes, I think. Jesus, I should circle back with him and see what he's doing, because I'm sure he's involved in some kind of craziness. But listen, even if he hangs it up at the end of the year as a teacher, like, I guarantee you he'll stay around something. I mean, and he talked about it. Those are the best 2 jobs in the building, dude. Everybody wants that. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be the bowling coach. I mean, look, Warren was like, I'm the golf coach here. You know, like, that's not happening. Like, nobody's taking that job. And I want it at the new place, right? Same with my buddy Farshid that got Garfield. He was like, hey, I need to be a golf coach here. Okay, here you go. So 2 really jobs that, you know, people really wouldn't like, hey, I'm the golf coach, right? Like, you don't really like put that as the patch on your shoulder, but great gigs.
Oh God.
But I think I would have trouble, dude. Like not coaching the kid, right? Hey, buddy, maybe you want to hit it this way. And he'd be like, but coach, my golf coach, right? Like, you know, he was on PGA Tour a couple years ago. So, like, I'm going to listen to him. And I'd be like, all right, I get it.
Makes perfect sense. Absolutely makes perfect definitely makes perfect sense. Yeah. All right. Tomorrow, who do we have on?
Tony, tomorrow we have Coach Grandinetti. Former head coach at Wall. Yeah. He's now the O-line coach at Donovan Catholic. So excited to talk to him. I work with him in the All-Shore game. He did the offensive line, and dude, it took about 15 minutes of individual to see, like, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. So be interesting to talk to him. I'm sure he will touch on the Wall situation as well, because he's, you know, open about whatever it is. He said, he's like, hey, like, let's do it. Let's have a conversation. All right, man. So be excited to talk to him, because talk some O-line play, talk some football stuff at a big school, transitioning from public to Catholic. It'll be a good conversation.
Have you ever used you've used First Down Playbook, which is good. Have you ever used Play Editor?
No, I have seen a bunch of stuff on it. Like, I haven't used it directly.
I think I think it's called Editor. I used it because my huddle, I'm frozen again, but my huddle's been pissing me off. My huddle, my huddle. I like Huddle for drawing it up, but my Huddle account with Middletown was only a trial because they don't have it as part of the whole Huddle package. So I can look on my phone, but I don't know. Yeah, we don't have the play things, so I have to buy it myself.
The cards? You can't make the cards with your version?
No. So I have now.
Jesus.
I am still the analyst for Old Japan, although now I really mostly do it for important games. I don't, you know, because some games.
Hang on.
I don't. I tell Joe Klaus. Which games do you need me?
Staying on that topic, right? I'm in the office yesterday, and who walks in the office? Chuck Johnson from Ridgewood. like the legend Chuck Johnson walks in the
He's
ring.
living down the shore?
I'm like,
Does he live
here
down the
I
shore?
am, North Jersey. I'm like, it's fucking Coach Chuck Johnson. Hey guys, this is Coach Johnson. He was at Ridgewood for a long. I'm like, no introduction needed, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you've won 5,000 games and been at like, yeah. So the guy that's coaching with us, Frank Marino, long time, which is hilarious, Dave, because this guy Frank Marino coached my dad at William Patterson with Frank Glazier. He's been around that long. Yeah, he is this guy, and he's like, hey, Chuck, 3 houses down from me in Lavalette, and we got to talking, and I told him, why don't you just come by? I said, come by. I said, why don't we just switch offense to the Delaware now and we'll win every fucking game? Because this guy is the fucking guru, dude. So these guys were like, oh, I said, like, now I'm secretly going to all of our, like, giving him the shoulder, like, this guy's a fucking legend, dude. Like, this guy is, like Warren Wolf status in North Jersey. Like, what he's like, man, I just, guys, I just want to be around ball. You know what I mean? Like, anything, whatever. So my coach was like, dude, you want to take our game film and break it down and explode our offense? Tell us how shitty we are, whatever. He's like, hey, man, I'll do it. So here it is, dude. Practice. Johnson's out there watching freaking individual. I'm like, I don't even know what to do now. I looked like a fanboy. Like, I looked like one of those dudes because I'm like, this guy's a legend, dude. Like, this guy's man. Like, you don't even understand how many games he won, And then he kind of got into the whole, like, because he retired because he got sick, right? Like, so health became, and then he kind of went back, like COVID and all that stuff, and so I guess he's down here now. So I mean, shit, dude, I said, guys, just look up like wins or like tenures.
Bill Wild, isn't Bill Wild at Central?
I
used to be the Milford coach.
Listen, you know how it is. I don't know what those guys are doing up there, but I might as well come down here, dude. Because
they're retired.
Very nice.
They're retired from their. What was I going to say? Yep. So when I did my student teaching, I did my
44 years, 301 wins. 44 years he was there. 301 wins.
I did my student teaching at Ridgewood. It's amazing. Chuck Johnson.
That was the other thing too. They're like, oh, how long were you at Ridgewood? And he's like, oh, 44 years. And these guys were like, what? I'm like, dude, he's the legend. Yeah. Like, you guys don't even. I'm like, if you go Mount Rushmore of wing T guys, like, this is what it is. Like, his head is on it, dude. Like, and a group 5 program, you know what I mean? Like, whew.
So when I was in my, when I was doing student teaching, I think I was in my second year of coaching, maybe my third. Second year of coaching. Still assistant staff. And Chuck Johnson was a phys ed teacher, and I had to like shadow him for a couple things. But he was great. He was big in the fitness, obviously. And
yeah, I mean, dude, Dave, for a guy that's like gone through what he's gone through, like, he still walked in, cut sleeve Under Armour shirt. I'm like, this guy looks better than me at 70 something, whatever old he is. Like, this was terrible.
This when Chuck Johnson was still nice and tall. He wasn't as like starting to get older, but he used a copier machine, and he would tell you this. Nobody used a copier machine more than Chuck Johnson. Because only reason I know is because when I had any period off, I was napping on the couch over there, and I would hear Chuck Johnson be like, "Oh man, hard work being a phys ed teacher." He'd always say something to me like, "Shoot, but hard work," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I need that." And he would be in there.
So he had like 2 little stints, 84 to 2019, and then 2021, 2022. And then he said one of the hard things, obviously, was he retired being out of the building, right? And we've obviously, we referenced that a lot, that like, his big thing was, look, you have to be in the building. He said, and
especially for guys that have always been in the building.
Like Nympheus, like exactly, right? And also, like, you look at a guy like like he liked teaching. He enjoyed teaching that
Yeah,
part. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't just right. He wasn't just like, which is what I was, Dave. Like I love teaching. That was really, really fun. I wasn't just, the coach that was like, hey, let's watch freaking Saving Private Ryan. Like, we don't need, like, let's actually talk about this. Like, you know what I mean? Might be the only history teacher that ever spent 2 weeks on the Panama Canal, but hey, I find it interesting. They could know something.
The Panama Canal.
But yeah, dude, I thought that was crazy. I was gonna text you last night and be like, Dave, I just like spent a practice with Chuck John. He's like, what do these kids got to race that they keep looking at? I said, oh, it's a go route. He's like, oh, go what? I'm like, coach, think of a binder on your waist. He's like, no shit. I'm like, yeah, this is how we can get through like 30 plays and whatever. And he's like, see, man, he's like, there is some new shit that actually works. You know what I'm saying? He goes drawing up those friggin' cards, man, every time. I'm like, don't have to now, buddy. Just, put the play in and
no, there's listen, dude, I have to tell you, the go route, okay? This is why I'm talking about the play card thing, because I'm trying to use the most efficient, fast way to my card so I can put them in the go route. But the go route, we finished offense, right? Because yesterday is primarily an offensive day. We put the go route. The biggest.
Is that how you do it? Is that how you structure your week? Do you go like more primary?
Usually, we're heavy one and light the other each day.
Got it.
And then Thursday,
and then
we only have 3 days.
I'm trying to think. Could you have? Oh, that's right. Oh, wait. So you only have what? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
That's it.
What's Friday?
Nothing.
Oh,
we only have 3
now.
days.
Do you get to watch film with? No. Basically, I kind of like you coach on the like, hey, this wasn't that good last week, Do your coaches get to watch film or no?
They do. They
Just
all
you.
have huddle. The kids have huddle access too, but I don't know if
Got
they
it.
watch it. The kids watch it any other than I try to tell them. I mean, it's hard to expect 10-year-olds to watch it.
But I'm sure Troy is like, Dad, can we watch? And then you can kind of, I mean, that's different. No, really? Wants no part of it?
No,
Wow,
he'll watch his highlights if you put it up.
Well, I'm sure that. I mean,
last week for Troy wasn't a lot because he was out of the game 4 plays in. So
yeah.
He played 4 plays of offense last week.
Got it.
It was touchdown in the second half.
Which definitely not expecting that to happen, correct?
No. I thought we were definitely better, but I didn't expect. Let's put it like this: if we are able to block the necessary people,
that's it, bro.
We're pretty good.
What's giving me trouble right now is obviously, like, how I coach wideouts, right? Like, blocking is pivotal, right? Like dude, there's no choices, like no block, no rock. Like this, we spend a lot of time on this. What's getting my guys now is safety corner, whether he's off at 5 or deeper or whatever. When that safety triggers, right? Like reads like, say, like an H pedal, we're in trips and the number 3 runs when that guy triggers, right? Like, and the apex player shoots the gap, like going blocking the apex player, the outside linebacker, to picking up the safety, because now he becomes the next threat, right? So, hey, your eyes are here, but once that guy fires, you got to go basically look for work, right?
Tracking.
Correct. That's what we're struggling a little bit with right now. It's because it's fly, and it's kind of like you kind of just have to go. Like, all I can do is basically like say, hey, here's your aiming point. Make sure you have the move your feet and just kind of get there when you can. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say the corner, right? Like we're coming down because we can't crack, right? I watched Dave. I watched a block from a kid.
crack blocking, by the way.
Dave,
it was my favorite.
Listen,
I used
beyond
to
my favorite.
use that.
I used to do it all the time, dude. But
changed.
Dave, I watched a kid from the team we're playing execute it perfect. Shoulder, no head, the works. 15-yarder, they threw him out of the game.
Really?
Defenseless player.
I never
defenseless
even
player
now.
It's not even. I almost don't even teach X block on the edge. Like I don't even teach cross blocking because like what are you doing? Dave, I literally, if we do have one, like stand there like a pick in basketball. That's like all you can do. Like you're probably gonna get run over, right? Like you're not gonna deliver the blow. You're probably take the blow because that kid's just gonna be pursuit, and you're gonna be like, oh damn. But dude, I'm telling you, it's just not even a thing anymore.
We used to run this short zig motion.
Yeah, just to set that up. Yeah, like hey, great. I'm gonna we you know, for us it would be like move, right? Like move, like Z move, just kind of like get to the inside, like almost like a wing, and then boom, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even worth teaching or putting it in because sees that you're done. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm like, wait, so does that mean that like this kid's out of the game this week because he got thrown out? Who knows? I don't know. It's just my guys are struggling a little bit with that. How do I come off of this and go get that?
That's
you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, hey, aim for the aim, like, you know what I mean? Like, go out there flat, right? Like, don't run directly at the guy, right? Like, go flat, and if he bails, your eyes got to wheel back and trigger, and then go pick that. It's difficult, and I'm trying, and they're just struggling with it. You're right. They're getting there, but like it takes a lot, man.
Yeah, I think it is. That part is like there's a while when you could teach it as long as you use your hands, but correct. Now like, they're so quick to throw you after that
every time, man.
Like, it's not even like. It's that I forgot about that. Used to be my oh my god, dude! I got injured in college because I used to love to set up those things. Like when I was on punt return, I would trail the guy to clean his clock,
Dave,
and I caught up when time cleaned the clock. I got caught. My knee got caught in it,
dude. We used to the kid that started Jersey Shore Supplements, right? Linebacker, played with me in college. Dude, he would, like, he called it, I'm headhunting, right? Set up the wall on punt return in college. Dude, he would just like, you know what I mean? Set that thing up perfect. And that guy, look, the hardest hit I ever took in a football game, my freshman year at Sacred Heart, running down on kickoff, they run a reverse. I'm like, oh, I got this. And they wheeled the second line guy that I blew by, wheeled back and caught me. Dude, you hear on my dad's filming, he's like, he's dead. Oh, he's going to die. Here it comes. My feet were above my head, dude. I came to the sideline.
You had to have your head on a swivel.
Head on a swivel. I'm awesome, dude. I'm like, I just read this reverse, dude. Done. Here we go. It's Halloween night at Stony Brook on the Jumbotron. I'm the dude. Dude, I got to the sideline. The manager came over with the screw gun and was like, dude, we need to tighten your chin strap because I don't know if you're okay. That's how hard I got hit, dude. You can't teach it. Like, it's why
was a thing, dude.
It's why there's no like, you know, I don't set up wall returns on punt return anymore. What's the point, dude? I'm just setting my guys up to be, dude. Like, why? How do I even without telling a kid don't crack them? You know what I mean? Like,
I think you just have them make it a pick, you know, and like you just.
I just look. I'm just widen to the sideline, stay on the hip, and run them out. Like, just
run them out. Widen it
and let the returner do what he does. Just stay on a hip. And we'll do it that way, right? Because it's like, what are we doing? Oh, bro, I used to get guys when we would run speed as an offensive player, wide out. When we would run speed out by number 2, curve top as number 1, and I was the number 1 receiver. When that dude would catch the speed out, I would catch the apex player as he was trying to follow and chase down the speed out. And dude. It's like, I had one in the play my senior year semifinals against Glenrock. I thought I killed him. I felt bad. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, I killed him. I was like, he's dead. And my cousin will tell you, he's like, oh my God, I think he's dead. The ref was like, oh boy. Listen, you don't see that anymore. That one-handed catch by the guy from Miami the other night.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen if this is 5 years ago when you could decleat somebody across the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have the to go up one and grab that thing on a seam route. Dude, Sean Taylor's coming from the opposite side and you're dead. You're just, it's different football, man. Good, bad, and different. I don't care. I'm not the guy that's going to be like, well, when I did whatever. But listen, I was coached to play safety a very different way. If you went across the middle, like that was it. Like, you didn't do it twice, whether you had the ball or not. That's not what it is anymore, man. Like, it's not what you teach. The game, like, now and suspended.
Right. No, there's no doubt about it. You're 100%
right. Like, think about it. Even at the youth level, dude, anytime you actually hear pads hit, people are probably like, oh my God, what are we doing? Right? Like, that's just the physically, the big hit stuff. Like, ESPN doesn't show those highlights anymore.
No.
What did they used to call it? Jacked up.
Dude, you used to get, you would get lit. You would literally get lit up. Like, people would get.
And everybody got juiced, right?
It was great. But you can't do that anymore. So that's a change.
Yeah, you just got to score touchdowns.
Well, space, dude. Space. It's that's my thing is I'm like, I'm just condensed environments and spaced environments. And then
find green grass and go, buddy. Find green grass and go.
I mean, I if I showed you the clips from last, like, literally, when you find a group, and in all fairness, in youth, a lot of kids are not going to be used to space. So
no, everything is in the box. Everything is in the box.
As soon as
because hey, he can't reach out there.
You put him out in space.
Well, that's the thing, Dave. You spread him out, right? Like, and look, I learned real early, right, when I was at Passaic Valley with Coach Johnson, and he's like, oh, you're a Butler guy, 4 wide. How do you kill the run and shoot? A-gap pressure, right? That's what he always said. He goes, because what is the premise of the run and shoot? Spread people out, find green grass. He goes, I don't care. You still have to throw there. So I'm going to blitz you A-gap. I'm going to bring pressure, force you to make quick throws, and then hopefully right? Because it's mainly one-on-one in space. So if you can do that, then I can stop the run. He goes, but if I can't do that, you're going to win by 75 points because it is what it is. And my offense coordinator talks like this. He's like, look, the hardest thing in football to do is tackle in space. One-on-one in space is the hardest thing to do. When that guy has a two-way go, he goes, look, so if we throw there 20 times and he makes the tackle 18 times, that's still 2 times where he's banging his head on a goalpost. You know what I mean? He's like, so I'll do it. I don't tackle. He force the defense to tackle you in space. It seems simple, but it literally makes sense. What's the hardest thing to do? One-on-one in space. That's extremely difficult, especially if you have maybe a higher level, shiftier kid and you're trying to tackle that guy. I mean, dude, like, disadvantage for me every time. Everybody was faster and all that and could wiggle better. How do I tackle a guy in space? Get there before he does. That's all I could do. Know the play was coming and be there before he could turn around. But it's really hard to get even youth guys to tackle in general. I mean, look, we watched North Carolina the other night. They couldn't tackle shit.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be at that practice. I don't even know how he handles that because he's used to guys coming to him already knowing how to tackle, and they could do a lot of the non-contact stuff and focus on technique. And those guys are athletic enough to probably handle it. Now, obviously, North Carolina's Division I players, but they're still
That's different, man.
Like they're still not athletic as NFL players, and if they're struggling tackling with angles, that's gonna require a lot of work, dude. Like, but my guess watching them tackle, I don't think they subscribe to the Atavis style of tackling because
head out of it. I think. Well, do you think
a lot of guys going over the top
and telling them the other way?
I think they have a lot of guys going over the top and guys cutting back on them. And this is not because I played in the era where we were taught many different styles of tackling. Like if he's in front of you, if he's in front of you, face him, head down the middle, like wrap him up. That's what we were taught.
Run through. Yeah, run through his chest, head here, eyes up, see what you hit. Bam, like okay.
Then we went to bite the ball, and we did that too in college, and then but like we never tracked. We tracked the inside hip, but we tackled across, right? So if you still teach that now with the it's not that the athletes are better, okay?
No,
it's that they all know how to change direction in space. And in the old days,
everybody's done the ladder drill 1,000 times.
Everybody can change direction.
6-year-olds can rip through the ladder.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. 10-year-olds can change direction in space. So what happens is that style, whereas it was more conducive to a guy who's gonna just sprint and keep sprinting versus cutting back. Guys cut back along the sideline as opposed to sprinting sometimes, right? So
what you're saying is rather than hit the gas and win to the sideline, they're putting brakes on and coming back this way where your pursuit should be coming to get it.
Right, a lot more. They do a lot more of that, and then like when I was taught to run,
I see it.
I just sprinted, dude. Anytime I cut back. And I was on the side, like I can just remember from high school, okay? And in college, although I was just running the trap play when I was a fullback. But so I was, there wasn't really, I'd make my one cut. I was
you weren't really hash number sidelines.
No, I was just straight, dude. I make one cut, even the touchdown I have against Rhode Island. I get up the trap, I'm up the middle, I make one cut, and I'm just straight. I'm just sprint.
Dude, they're like a top 10 right now. Polls.
Rhode
Island's like top 10. Yeah, dude. I mean, and we talked to the strength guy. He was all jazzed about it. And we were kind of like, okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, I guess it's big one this weekend. Monmouth Lehigh, to digress, but Monmouth Lehigh's that's a top 25 game.
Yeah, I gotta look up the FCS. I haven't looked at it. The side, but yeah, that's what you were taught. Like you hit the sideline, you sprint. Like I remember my coaches in high school. Like when I cut back, like
they would yell at you for cutting back, right?
They were wrong because I was like I would cut back sometimes if a guy came over the top of me, they'd be like just outrun him, Right. And it's not that was just what was taught, right? So you could come flying in, head across, bang a guy out of bounds. Now a guy sees you flying, he's gonna stop, cut back in. Let you go by.
I do sideline tackling with the DBs every chance I'm working with DBs. We do sideline tackling, and I teach. Like I don't teach head across. I teach head behind and run them out. Like that's just head across.
That's actually near shoulder because when you're behind, it's. If you were flipped around, it's the other way.
It's your upfield shoulder. That's where it needs to go. But for me, if you, like you said, hit the gas and go up the sideline, I still have this arm, right? Use the sideline and push you out of bounds. Whereas if I sell out and put my head across, the only thing I have from stopping you to come back is this. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening. So I might as well use what I got. But I'm telling you, it's really been working for at least from my point of view, is the idea of vicing everything, right? Like you have it, keep it on your inside shoulder, keep it on your inside shoulder, guy down the middle. Like
Dave, whatever your angle is for your near hip, that's what you.
And now look, like Okay, guy makes a move. Maybe to be inside shoulder, but your head gets across. That guy should now, other guy should now fold over and make you right.
Wherever your position is, if you're to the right,
it's worked, man.
If you're to the right of the ball carrier, your left shoulder is going on. It doesn't matter.
Inside,
like whatever.
I keep it
If
the same verbiage.
Right
Dave. It's inside shoulder. Keep it inside. Keep it on your inside shoulder. Inside. Look, it's how we've like scheme wise our entire kick game, right? Everything is vice the returner, because also like I'm never putting a ball where a guy has a two-way go. I'm trying to force him to a spot.
Always one way.
Yep. Hey man, like this is where it's at. This is where it's at. And now you're in the middle. Like I'm not asking you to put your head and run through his chest. I'm looking for you to be that finisher of this guy's got this guy, this guy's got this side. You know what I mean? He's inside, this guy's inside, finish the play, right? And look, we had 6 kickoffs the other night, and 4 of the 6 ended with 3 guys basically on the tackle. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's worked in terms of, keep it here, keep it there, and now we go. Or if you're that third guy in there, like, and the guys are still kind of have them up, like, you go get the ball, dude. Like, punch that foul. Ball security, man, is something that guys there is none of it. You can tell them 5 points of pressure or whatever, but all the 7-on-7 stuff, all the flag stuff, none of these kids are conscious of ball security anymore, dude. Like, I see the ball is out. I mean, even us, like our own guys, like, you know what I mean? Like, very careless with the ball when they're carrying it, especially in space. Those guys break a big one, dude. It's out here. All it takes is one guy to come from behind, punch up and go, and it's gone. I mean, I know that's one of the hardest plays in football too, to kind of punch that thing out as they're running away. But dude, guys, ball security, man. Like, god damn. It's such a thing now that I've seen just not an emphasis. And I think it's because of all the 7-on-7 and the flag stuff, because they don't worry about like nobody's trying to rip the ball out in those things.
They hold it in one hand half the time.
Dude, it's like, I mean, and they're running like
this.
Dude, 100%. I'm like, buddy, if you reach out on the goal line with the ball like that and it gets knocked out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, the other thing, we're going to meet on the 50. Like, this is going to be a thing. Like, dude, hold on to that damn thing.
Cost me a game once, 2014.
Because the kid tried to reach
it out, and he wasn't there. Kid slapped it out, went out the back of the end zone, touchback, other team's ball, and
game over.
That was the game-winning touchdown that he was going across.
Damn,
he was going across for the game-winning touchdown. And my question, and that kid went Division I. My question to him was,
bet you never did it again.
No. Do you think if you got tackled on the 1 yard line, we would have scored the next play? You're going Division I. You're a stud. Do you think
you're going to lean and get in?
I could have leaned you and got in? Yes, Coach. So did we need, like, not that he would have, by the way, if he had just had it tucked, he would have walked in the end zone.
He would have still been in.
The kid dove for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
it's like the guys that try to reach, like for the pylon, right? Like I tell, obviously, like, if we're kicking an extra point, right? Or like, hey man, like if it's a bad snap and you're yelling fire, like, yeah, we have some guys running some routes for you, but your first instinct is hit that pylon, like get to the
pylon.
Like that's the rule. Like the throw, if it does happen, should be like a little drop over floater, because the corner came screaming up to get you. But you got to – but I'm not asking – you're not doing the Jamal Anderson, like, reach it out, dirty bird type shit, like, hit the corner. Great underrated running back, by the way, Jamal.
Well, the other thing is their hand sizes, okay?
They can't hold the ball.
They think they have bigger hands. Good athletes have bigger hands probably than the normal high school kid. But they do not, like the pro athletes, okay, probably have in general much bigger hands
Yeah.
than the average high school athlete. So when they do it, not that they should, but they probably are much stronger with their hands. So I think when
Definitely.
an athlete tries to emulate it and they are not as strong with their hands, the ball falls out, it gets swiped out, they drop it. It's totally, they're not physical creatures that the NFL,
No. They think they are.
they think they are. But and I it's like one of those catch-22s. Like, you want them to reach for the stars, but you also have to understand where you're currently at. So, like, listen, if a kid comes across your plate that can do it, is that strong and that big a hand, but most of you are not. Most of you, you're doing it because you saw it on TV, and you're probably going to score anyway. And don't limit it. Don't limit.
Or
yourself.
just like trust in the fact that we're going to score on the next play.
It doesn't. Yes.
I have one for you. So, are you under center or shotgun mostly?
We do both. We do both.
See, so let me ask you this: when you go victory, are you under center or are you center? Yeah, dude, we're not.
Now, last year,
because we're never under center.
Last year oh no, you know what? Last year we even went. Even though we were in shotgun, we practiced
for that only. So this is the two sides of the story, right? Two sides, right? So if you're in shotgun, okay, obviously we all know the million things that could go wrong in shotgun with a victory, right? Victory, take a knee, end of the game. If you go under center for victory, the referee kind of protects you and is like, hey, this is a dead play, right? Like, no. Now, if you're in shotgun, I can't do that, correct? So that's, what are we doing, right? Like, look, I don't care what we do. We freaking take the knee and win the game. But there's just, to me, there's a lot more that could go wrong taking victory knee in shotgun.
I agree. Even every place I've been, I've gone under center. Even when we were shotgun,
just for that, like that is a particular situation.
Because I always just tell them, listen, you get your 100. You don't have to go anywhere. You take the snap first. It's not like you got to go and do a handoff. You take the snap. Make sure you get the snap. Make sure you get the snap up.
Yep.
You get the snap, and you pull it into your stomach and take the knee.
Correct.
But you're not in a rush to do it. You don't need to rush.
It's almost like a slow motion play, dude. Like,
even if they knock you over, you still have the ball.
That's all we care about right now. Like, we don't need anything. We're done. It's over, right? It's like the same guys that like
gun advocates argue, and their argument is, this is what we do the whole entire time. This is no different than any other play. It should be easy as pie. My only argument is this. I'm sure I've done it at some point, a gun take a knee, maybe here or there, but I'm pretty sure I'm 99% of the time I've been under center. My only argument is this. There was a time I had a great athlete, could not take a center snap, and he wasn't my full-time quarterback. And we're on the 1 yard line at the end of the half. And if we scored, we would have won the game. We ended up losing in overtime because of this. But he was my jump over the top guy. And he really wasn't good at doing the sneak. I tried to sneak. I sneaked twice. We couldn't get in. I said, you know what? This kid's just going to catch it, jump over the top, touchdown, easy peasy. Every time you think it's just going to be easy peasy is the crazy time that something goes wrong. The only time, the whole year, not once did my center snap the ball over this kid's head. He snapped it over his head. Yes, and you know why? Normally, when he's taking that snap, he's not in a hurry to jump over the top. He's going to do it. So he didn't jump for the ball, couldn't really jump for the ball. He was kind of in a rush to jump over the top. So
God damn.
So the ball goes over his head, he falls on it, and it was end of half. Okay. Now, in my mind, when I called the play, and all the kids were kind of mad at me too, and I'm like, shit, you know what? My thought process was like, this kid's a freak. He's going to catch the ball, jump over the top, easy. Dude, it happened to go over his head. The one time it went over his head. And I was like, we played a great second half, but we, tied it up, but we ended up losing in overtime. And I always thought to myself, shit,
Right.
I probably should have just trusted it and just went with the other quarterback and just one more. I went with what I thought was the sure thing. This guy's such an athlete. There's no way they're stopping him. And we got stopped twice on the quarterback sneak. And I'm like, I should just went one more time. I should have just did it one more time. And we probably would have got in. You know what I'm saying? But I got cute. And because I had a freak athlete, and I got cute because it's the one time that something happens. That's what my thing with that stuff. It like Murphy's Law on those things is undefeated, dude. I don't know why it happens, but it happens, and I always try to say to myself, is this juice worth the squeeze? And not that I don't make mistakes, I do, but every time I've tried to be too cute, it is back in high school. Okay, it has backfired on me when I try to be too cute to catch them off guard. Now, there's times when you got them, right? You got them. It's
right. So that's all right, we're good. Yep. Yep. That sense of
security.
Them.
I used to run this, I used to run this dive play, and I would foot to foot, wedge it, dive it, and that was one of my first down plays. And then I used to release the tight end.
Yeah, because you're gonna get 4 and for a pop.
Yeah, and it was it was foolproof. I mean, it was right. That 100%. If I threw it, which was rare, if I threw it, it was because I knew that you guys they were gonna fly up for that, and then the quarterback would just dump it right off, right? And But that would be an example of a cute play that I would wait till I knew. I would be all right,
of course,
this free safety is he's so pissed off that we're running the wedge again on 3rd down and 1 for the 3rd time, and we're at the 15-yard line. Boom, I run it, touchdown, and you look like you're a genius. But it really was a very safe play because I ran wedge already.
A foolproof play. A foolproof. Yeah,
I ran it 6 times already.
It's the one that. It's the one in your playbook that hey, this is my nothing's 100%. We all know that, but it's the highest of the percentages you have. That if I call this, I'm getting what I want.
Yeah, I'm not calling it until they completely sell out to the wedge, because the wedge play could be very irritating for a defense, especially in 3rd and short, especially if you got I had some big old guys at the time in the middle, and they would just wedge in there.
Always helps.
Big fullback just bangs it in there, gets the 1 yard, gets the 3 yards, gets the, now you're annoyed. You know what I mean? You're a free safety.
Yeah. Now you're what the hell? I'm pissed.
Yeah, you're are we going to stop? We know what's coming. We know we know
right,
what they're running.
Hey, look, it's like the tush push, right? It's like the tush push for the Eagles, dude. They know every time they run it, they're getting what they want, right? And no one has come up. Yeah, where he ducks into the line.
Play. Yeah, I got it from Tebow, because Tebow would run that run, score, and everybody get the free safety would be pissed off. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I'm not letting Tebow score again. Comes flying up, and he pops up, and he dumps it over to the tight end.
You know what was the other one that used to piss me off as a safety? On the goal line, right? Tight end. Hey, you got tight end. All right. Tight end block, or falls down and then gets back up, and all of a sudden he's on the other side, and you're like, fuck. I'm like, happened to me. I'm telling you, it was to a point where
you're banking on the fact that he has
how much time
to get it off.
100%. I'm like I'm the strong safety, right? It's goal line, everything is condensed. I see that guy block down or fall down, he's out of the picture. Quarterback's booting, I gotta go get him, right? Like outside, here's what it is, and all of a sudden he pulls up to throw, and you're like, "That's my guy." Oh boy, dude.
Right, because you're banking on the fact that
he's out of the play. He's on the ground. He's not into it. We're 100%. There's two other backers in the interior.
Yeah,
like he's not getting over there. Like, or he's been on the ground. He's on the ground, and now he's like, "Here we go." I'm like, and you try explaining that to the DC, like, yeah, well, he felt. I don't care if he fell. I'm like, you're right, coach. Minus. I gave up a tutty. Sorry, like on a third and whatever where we should have been out blocking a field goal. Like, but no, and some of those plays, man.
I always thought that those are risky plays too,
almost
because
like
quarterback gets killed sometimes on that.
And he's got to eat that, and he knows. So now he knows he's going to take the hit. Is this throw? For me too. One of my favorite plays and scary at play too is, that middle screen to your back where you're just backpedaling, dump it over the top. 3 defensive linemen, or at least one, is running through your chest. And now, do I rush the throw? Is the throw high? Did I not put it? Is it low? Like, there's so many things that could go wrong, but you're like, as a play caller, you're like, dude, this is easy. Just drop it over the top. No one's going to be there. Yeah, dude. They're like, it's hard to execute. And it's one of those plays where you're like, hey, it's so hard.
Great play. Very hard to execute.
Love it.
Because your quarterback has to be patient.
He
might get murdered.
And that guy's literally got to be like hanging on your jersey when you let that thing
go. Right as he's about to get over you, you drop it over. Because if you do it too early, they just turn around and tackle him right there. Or pick
and now, like, and look, well, that's the other part with the athleticism of some of these guys now. Like, or the apex player on the opposite on the weak side away from the back reads it and cuts underneath it, and now it's housework, right? Because those guys are faster than they used to be. But I mean, I love middle screen to the back, man. That were like
great play.
But or athletic D lineman. Wait, this is easy. Why did the line wash me by? Like, that's stick your foot in the ground, retrace your steps,
once
and
you
they're
put
sitting
it on
right underneath
film
it.
Too.
Yep.
So once you put it on film,
that DC has that card pulling it up.
He's like, D end. You do not you rush up if it seems like it's too easy. You take your 2 steps and you come flat down the line, and then he picks it or he freaking tackles. But you can usually get that off a couple of times a year, and then they just
like maybe and then after a while it's like, all right, this is what's coming. Here it is. Or you get a freak like Vince Wilfork who's like, whatever, and just
linebacker that buys it. That's what his middle linebacker just knows. Hey, man,
Micah Parsons, come on, man.
They slipped the whole key on that play too is your lineman. They have to make that block. If they miss the block, the play
still needs to be like, you can't just olay and open up the floodgates immediately. You still have punch, wash, and run, right? Like, you still have to get a hand on that guy to at least give him a little scoot. Like, here you go, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but at least
pick, olay, and
be like, like at
help
least
him
give him.
If you don't help him die, that's
over. It's a free rush. These guys are a free rush. They get a free rush ever, so they get all jazzed up, right? That D line is flying, like. And you're there backpedaling as a quarterback, like, and especially for the guys that I've had, 5'8" dudes, like, like, how do I drop that thing over? I'm like, dude, you just got to get it there.
I think it also you probably do need a taller quarterback for that.
It's very hard. But now, with the quarterbacks, that these quarterbacks aren't taught over the top, right? Highest point, bring it over. They're all Mahomes, like sidearm throws, like arm angle. How do you throw a middle through a D lineman? Like, that's one where you got to come over the top.
Well, that's why you see a lot of the middle screens now as
from the tunnel.
down in and he throws it.
Or the outside guy, like they run like a tunnel, but it's a
Tunnel
middle
version,
tunnel,
yeah.
right? Like you're not hitting it when he's, you know, if
Middle
he's on the
tunnel.
numbers, you're not hitting it on the hash. You're hitting it when he gets
Right outside the
goal
box.
post.
He catches it right outside the
Yep.
box.
You
Continues
know what I've
on.
used as a reference point, Dave, this year more than I've ever used it before is actual goal posts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to run a skinny post from the slot.
Oh, yeah. Front side.
I tell
middle.
them aim front side of the goalpost, or aim, if I want a true post, aim for the middle of the goalpost. Like that's been a really good reference point, and I never even thought to use it. You know what I'm saying? But like, because that's visible, like they can see that as they're running downfield, still be able to track where the safety is, but see through that guy to the goalpost. Like that's your landmark, dude. Like aim for that. I've used it with lane responsibilities on kickoff and punt. Like, hey man, you're aiming for the far side goalpost. You're aiming for the middle of the goalpost. You're aiming for this side of the. Okay, rather than say, hey, you're between the numbers and the hash. You're between the hash and the number. Like, kids aren't looking down at the way, and you never know what kind of field lines you're getting. We've dealt with that numerous times. You know, it's a shit. I mean, if you watch my huddle tape, like we went and bought spray cans of paint, white paint, and put the numbers. Like we did them ourselves. That's what happens. That's what happens when you go from being a running team to a spread team, where now you need those numbers out there for reference points. The grounds crew ain't used to spray painting numbers. I don't need numbers. Just put a line out there, dude. Here I am measuring it out and shit on my own.
I think that
whatever it takes, dude. Whatever it takes.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
shit. Do you guys even have lines on your field where you practice?
We have them every 10 for me. No, by the way, none of it. I mean, the fact that we're in some wide sets, it does not help at all. So
because that matters. I mean, look, it's literally. I mean, look, if we want to run 4 verticals and you got to run the bottom of the numbers to keep that sideline open, like stay on, dude. It's that's probably the biggest eye opener for me in this season of coaching points, right? Like having to constantly hammer down on 4 verticals landmarks, dude. Like you have to stay on your landmark. Like, yes. I get it. The corner is going to try and force you inside or outside, but once you avoid, you have to stack and get back on where you are, because it throws off everything. The quarterback can't throw you a touchdown if you're on the sideline.
Right. The hard thing is, and different plays, moving yourself. So for this play,
4 verticals from the left. 4 verticals from the left hash is different than 4 verticals from the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with, and that goes with,
or in, like, you got to
like,
know.
Hey, if we're running if you're the outside receiver and you're running a speed out, I don't want you on the bottom of the numbers. Tighten your split down to give yourself room to be able to run that. Now, look, that's a far throw either way, even from the hash into the boundary. It's still a tough throw, but you need to at least help that guy a little bit. And it also defensively, like, yeah, you're a third player. But those thirds either narrow or expand based off where the ball is. And if a quarterback rolls out, my third moves a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just stay. It's not a clear cut, like, drawing of, like, this is the third. The third moves a little bit, dude. It's not always going to be an evenly based thirds, right? Because if the guy rolls this way, that corner's got the outside third. You have the middle third, but this backside guy, he almost ends up with almost like a half. But you have to move. But you got to move with it, right?
Quarter half. It becomes quarter half.
Correct. But it's like, for some of them, it's like, dude. And it's hard for me because it came so naturally as a safety to just like, all right, I just turn my butt a little bit and backpedal to that third. But it's really hard for some guys. I guess I kind of get it. I don't know. Just like go to the guy in your zone, man. Like that guy's running a corner route, like carry him to the next third and then jump the dig. That's
they don't
need it. Like,
yeah, it's that part's. you know what? Well, here the negatives to condensed practices is this: you could only
And by condensed, you mean what?
Time wise, meaning making practice
Got
more efficient and more
like flow,
faster paced and stuff. You don't
right?
get into some of the weeds that
Right.
you might have gotten into in the past. You have less individual time, okay,
Yep.
and a lot more team. Look, to me, I guess you guys would probably call yourselves maybe air raid. I guess I don't know, but what the
Yeah,
version
that's
of
what we do. We call them that.
okay, so the version of offense you run, it requires a lot of team time in that, because
Oh, absolutely.
so it takes away like from individual time for, let's say, a receiver, because you have to teach them the scheme of where people are when they sit down and all that. So that takes
That's
away from
why.
individual skills, right?
And now I
There's a
think
trade-off in everything you do
oh,
in football.
absolutely 100%. Like Dave,
if
like
you
we just
choose
talked
to do
about my
this,
guys.
you're not
Right.
doing that.
I have to sacrifice. Listen, it's why I have 4 different muddle sets. They have to take the time to practice it. For me, defensively, I think like as a secondary coach, working with linebackers helps because you want to jump that dig where that linebacker is going to be underneath it, so you don't have to. You don't see that if we only work in secondary play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I used to be a big, you know this because you coach me. I used to be big on moving all the sets around because of getting people to move in a whole direction and placing a lot of the pressure on me to like figure out where they are when I do that. But
Right.
Oh, sorry. Something happened. I had like an outage. So what was gonna say? Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I got you.
I had like an outage. That was so weird. It just like
Go.
threw me right out.
You've gone in and out. You've gotten in and out a couple times today.
Yeah, this time there was like a clear outage, just shot me out. I don't know. It could be my internet, could be StreamYard. So what I was saying was, what I'm starting to now like more is almost along the lines of like what Manny kind of like the original Leech, Leech stuff.
Yep.
Now I still run a lot of jumbo sets because of the youth game, but when I go to anything like spread, keeping the same set and then running all the things out of that and making teaching the kids to learn how to adjust. Yes.
Yep. And now I think
you're going to get this if we align like this, we know we're going to get this. How do you adjust?
But that's the hardest part for me is when you do it like that, and then all of a sudden you get to the game and the other team doesn't do that, not because they're taught to not do that. They're just have they just screw up and they're not in the right spot. And all of a sudden they get a tackle for -5 and the kid's like, coach, he was supposed to be there. And you're like, I know, it's like, fuck.
Yeah. That's where I think some of the play call, whoever the play caller is, I think has to see that.
Absolutely.
That's probably much harder for the kid. The kid has got to be, if he doesn't write it, the play caller has to make the right play call according to their screw up. So this is also system versus flexibility. Right.
Correct.
If you're in a system and this is what you do every single time, which would be along the Manny style of things.
Right. Yep. Like, hey, we're going to do what we do regardless of what the defense does.
Right. So if they don't align properly, he is going to focus.
Still good.
Yeah, we're going to teach them Hey, you just have to learn how to adjust properly to these things. Or
Correct.
the other way you could subscribe to it. I mean, the best guys probably do both, to be honest. But like,
But you have to have the kids that have the ability to do that.
no, I'm saying the play caller would say, you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
They're not aligning the way we really want them to.
Right.
You know, we're calling this until they fix it. Like till the other team.
I think that's the hardest when it comes to run game, right? Because you're telling this guy when he pulls through, hey, it's this, but okay, maybe now you got to log this, or hey, we need to do this. I think it's a lot
you have
harder.
to not pull. Sometimes you have to not pull. By the way, okay.
No shit. Just go big on big and go.
So this is the other thing that like I like. I like to do the pin and pull stuff. So I like it, but you know what I realized? There's two things. The guy who's covering for the guy who's pulling, okay? The guy who's stepping there, you have to know if he could do it. Because if he can't, meaning if he legit, like there are some kids that are great base blockers, but they can't reach, dude.
Pull for shit.
They could down block. Well, not even the puller. The guy who's taking over.
The guy who has to overtake. I get you.
The reacher guy.
Yes.
Dude, there's some people that can't do it. Like, they just can't reach.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? They cannot get themselves moving fast enough against a good defender to reach. And that guy keeps blowing up your play. He blows your play up.
Every time.
Now, if you have a quarterback, like, if you were in college, you would just tell the quarterback, you know what, we're not even going to fucking block that guy. Just read him. You know what I'm saying?
That's my guy. That's like the kid I have, right? We're just like, hey, if this guy's whatever, we just
guy.
Like, what do you do with their best player? What do you do? How do you take J.J. Watt out of it? You read him.
You read him. Just read him.
Now,
and if he's not good, he makes plays. Now you got to really fucking figure it out. The problem is that guy
now goes and blocks the read guy, and it's like, what do I do? Right? And you just have to have a quarterback that can go make a play, like based off of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you have a guy that can run. But it does give another element that you have to practice. This is the problem. The problem is now you put the read in there.
Speed option. Like I always just thought.
Listen. I'm more of a subscriber to you on this because I was trying to put power read in. I know my quarterbacks would be great at it. Okay.
Right. I'm
like, screw it. Just this year, we're just gonna go. We're gonna learn. We're gonna get really good at knowing how to do speed option.
100%.
We're gonna we haven't run it yet, and I may not run it all year in a game, okay? But we're in practice. We're running it every single practice till they make the right decision like 95% of the time. Right. And when I see that, then I'm like, okay, then we're ready to run in the game. But you're right.
You have to
it's so easy,
work
dude.
Towards that, dude. You know what I mean? Like
I watch them. You know what's great about speed option, and this is where. If a guy blocks the guy that you're supposed to read, the quarterback just runs it.
You just take it. It's QB
He
keep.
Just goes. Your lineman screws up. He goes and blocks the guy you're supposed to read. He just runs. The quarterback just ends up running. So that's the nice thing about speed option.
The other hard part was for us to explain that speed option for us is like an RPO throw to the bubble. Like that's the pitch. Right? Like it took them a while to figure out this is still triple option, right? Because that's your third, but the throw is the pitch. That was tough too. Right? Because we'll do this.
That's a hard play.
Dave,
you need a dog, like you need not just a good
guy that knows that can figure it out. And you have to have a different type.
I only had one guy in all my years that did that play well.
Right.
De Silva, because the truth was he was running.
Chambo wasn't good at that. He couldn't get to that because to get to that third phase, you have to go through a lot of shit in a fast period of time in a small condensed area.
I'm not big on
you can't be doing all this.
I'm not a big triple guy.
I think at the high school level, it's just there's too much that could go wrong where the bang for your buck is what it is. Now, look, obviously, I love it as a receiver. Gives my guys an option on a run play, or a designed run play that now, hey, you still got to run this stuff.
Well, why not just do speed or bubble? Like you're taking it and you're running it, or just you take your 2 steps and throw the bubble.
We did a ton of, I don't even know how much Jermaine ran the other night, but dude, we did so much jet motion. I mean, because when we went jet with him, 2 guys went with him. Like he took 2.
The quarterback runs wherever he wants. Up the middle,
ran for 200
outside.
yards. Right? He was like a short savage player of the week this week. He ran for 200 something yards, threw for 90. Like couldn't stop him because see that 2 guys go, boom, hit it. Like, and he's a downhill runner. He had 3 turnovers, but okay. Like, can we not run with the ball like you're a flag player, buddy? Like, yeah, coach, but I made up. I had 3 touchdowns. Like, yeah, I kicked 5 extra points. Yeah, but you missed 2 field goals. Like, come on, bud.
Oh,
like,
he's your kicker too? He must be a good
dude, Dave, he will. I said this. I said, guys, I know we don't care about stats and all that shit. I said, but he will lead the state in scoring because he's kicking extra points. He's kicking field goals. So every time he scores a touchdown, it's 7 points. He kicked 5 extra points. We had a field goal block and he missed another one. So that would have been another 6 plus 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's gonna have a million points.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah. And you saw him. He's athletic as shit. You could put him at any skill spot and he'd be a good player. So the other day I want to play college football. I'm like, okay, great.
He does. Thanks. Or doesn't?
He does, but I'm like, you're a senior. Like, we should have been on this months ago.
Oh, he just decided that.
I'm like, look, I can get you someplace because there's no doubt somebody would be
probably DB in college.
Probably, dude. He hits the shit out of people. I have to tell. He's also my kickoff guy. I have to tell him, like, dude, you're not running down and making the first hit, although he wants to. I'm like, you're our quarterback, dude. You have to stay healthy. You can't. You're gonna take enough hits because he's also one of those like runners where like can't control your body type thing. So he's always in the wrong. Like even when he gets even an easy tackle, it looks like he gets crushed. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. Like he doesn't know how to fall with style. Like it always looks so terrible. Dude, I'm like, please, buddy. Like, come on, man. Like you have to be healthy. But look, that's how he plays the game. I'm not about to tell the kid to not play the game the way he's played it his entire life. You know what I mean? Because now you tell that kid to not do what he does, he's not the same player. You've had kids like that. Now they start overthinking things.
Yeah, just play. Well, I'm always any kid who looks like he thinks, I just tell him to sprint.
Correct.
And
run as fast as you can, dude.
Yep. The kids who are sprinting, who go fast all the time, I just tell them, good cut, bad cut.
Yep.
Like
also the other thing too is I tell guys,
that's how they know.
You know what I tell? Like,
that's not a good cut. Like, why would you cut that?
Yep.
Why
do that. Like, don't go that way.
Well, it's not even don't. It's like a good cut is you gain yourself more space. A bad cut is you go to where more people are, and that's basically
like guys that take a bubble and come back in. I'm like, dude,
if you cut it back, it's because this team has overplayed their hand so much. But most of the time, that's not going to work, right? Most of the time, go to the space. As a running back, if you get out if you're running a B gap or C gap run play,
right,
and you bounce outside, it's because you feel there's nobody out there. Otherwise, you're probably weaving inside, maybe back towards the inside up the field because the straight
but you're still
line,
leaning to the outside like a tunnel screen where you tell them to catch it, attack in the
line, like the fastest way to score.
You're going to get up, read the ass of those linemen, and then hash number sideline, get back out, right? Like, do not catch that thing and go towards the middle linebacker. Like, dude, he's coming full speed to take your head off. That was my first high school play. I took a bubble. I cut back to the inside. Clifford Scott, middle linebacker, dreads here. He lit me up. I fumbled. Dude, never again, right? Like that was my welcome to high school moment. Don't cut back where everybody else is. Run away. Run away. I tell guys, find the first down marker.
it's funny because like, and then sometimes you have a kid that like, I don't know, he just feels it so well that I'm
Right.
just
Yep.
like,
Yep. Yep.
like
You're like, all right, do your thing, buddy.
Elijah St. Hilaire did it twice in the same game on this like on the Rocket what do you call it screen, the tunnel screen,
Yep.
and so he comes, he gets the tunnel, and we try to take it towards the hash mark and up the field, right, like what you talked about. He did something. I was like, no, and he went like he was running
And then you're
mesh.
like, okay. You're like, yes.
It was like he was running mesh. Okay, he was
Yep.
so low. I'm like, he's gonna get killed. I don't know. He was doing. He goes across and then he put his foot in the ground, and I was like, oh my god, there's nobody there. I don't know how he did that. Like there was all of a sudden, like I'm like, he's gonna get killed, and then he put his foot in the ground at the right time, and he broke up, and there was literally no one there, and I'm like, oh man, like there's some now. There's going to be a time he probably did get whaled on it, right? But
Of
there's some
course.
kids, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not telling him where to go
Yeah,
because
I'm not saying, listen, it's like
I couldn't
like
see
Jermaine
that.
punt
He
return,
saw
like,
that.
Dave, like our punt returns with Jermaine. I'm like, look, dude, like we're trying to like get you the middle of the field, but I'm not telling you what to do. Once you make that first guy miss, all I'm telling you to do is catch the ball. Once you do
forward.
that,
If you can go
bro,
forward,
you go play.
Yeah.
Like you go play. And what did he have? He had like 50 yards in returns the other night. 2 because he scooped them on the bounces. They were shit punts and he picked up.
Yes.
And look, he only got like, 10, 5, but it saved us 25. It saved us 30 yards in field position because he just played shortstop.
It's there's some kids that you're like, okay, like I want you to make sure you handle.
You don't want to overcoach it.
You don't want to overcoach.
That's what I say.
I had a kid once that we used to at Pell Park. He was great at this. I don't know how, like he could judge like a center fielder if the kick was short. And you know what? He would sprint up, be running almost full speed to catch it. Normally, I would tell guys get away from it. He would catch it,
or you would say, I give them a rule.
He would return it to the house.
You have to come. If you have to returning punts, if you have to come forward more than 10 yards, fair catch. Automatic, right? Like automatic because you know what? You're good. And look, this is
he
the other
would put
thing
his
too,
foot in
like,
the ground and score. I'm not telling him not to fair catch. Like
because the momentum of those guys coming downfield, like they're moving so fast going this way that if you hit that thing, and look, if there's one thing I like really was like, dude, like I loved returning punts. It was the greatest thing in the world. And I think I was pretty good at it. I never let it drop. But I would sprint forward as fast as I could because that's the most important part, right? Like you got to sprint to wherever that thing is and then you can set up to catch it. You got to get there before you catch it.
Right.
You can't be running like a zombie and all that. So you get up there, you can. But dude, like the one in high school that I houseworked, right, on Thanksgiving Day, my senior year, I sprinted forward and caught it 10 yards in front of me on a full sprint because it was like a line drive. But that momentum going forward, I was already at full speed and those guys were still going that way, right? You have to, like, that's where it all, and then it's literally make one miss and you're good. Like now for me, I always got hawked at like the 5 because I wasn't fast, but I like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I was there. You have to catch it first. Think about like when we had, what's his name was the little white receiver our senior year, AJ Albarno. He caught everything, saved us how much in field position, right? Kid I had at Mount Olive, Robert Bakovich, now a state trooper. He caught everything. And what I threw him out there as a sophomore and said, look, just fair catch everything. Right? Nobody can hit you. All you got to do is catch it. He saved us so many yards. And then each year he got more confident in returns. And by the time he was a senior, he's picking them up on a bounce. He's, taking one and going a different way or doing whatever. Like punt returning is a very, very like, it is tough, dude. And the guys you think are good returners probably aren't, right? Like those straight away fast guys, they're kick returners, not punt returners. Punt returners are lateral movement, make one miss, and then go. And you gotta, dude.
And they're sure
say what you want. You got. They are. the kid we just why am I like, oh my, this is ridiculous. The kid that we had at SJV that played for us, right? Dante Campagna, great punt. There you was first. I call them first down receivers. Every ball they catch is a first down, right? That's like because that's what they're sure-handed. Got Edelman, Wes Welker, right? Like those are guys that you throw them the ball, they're going to catch it. Hunter Renfro, right? Like like those guys just catch it. They don't have to be Devin Hester.
No.
They don't have to be Dante Hall.
Those are bonuses. But yes, the guys who catch it and that are going to catch it, and if they return it, they're willing to get as much yard
shot, right? Like you're going to have to be in an uncomfortable spot irregardless, right? Because the numbers just don't warrant, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things that, like, you have to have a little bit of a, like, different attitude as a punt returner. Like, you have to know, Like, there were times I called for a fair catch and a guy ran right by Essex Catholic. There's a throwback for you, right? Like, I'm running forward, fair catch, looking up, boom. Okay. Like, but 15 yards. It's not, dude, it's not an easy skill. Halo rule, all that other kind of stuff. Even if you call for a fair catch, that guy might be a yard away from you saying God knows what. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're 100% right. You're right. And the kick returner is just, that is your burner.
And in high school, how many times do you get a good punt? Like, you just don't get a good punt.
You don't get,
like you can teach them to track the tip of the ball. This way it's going to come back like on an angle, almost like a banana. So almost overrun it. So it hits you where it needs to. Like, but high school's hard, man. Like, guys can't punt for shit. And now all the rugby punting stuff, like, dude, these guys can drop it in a bucket on the 2. So it's just it's a very underrated, I think skill that if you have a good one, man, that's such a bonus. And not a good one like going to housework it every time he touches it. I'm just talking a guy that will catch it every freaking time. That saves you so much field position, dude. Like, how many times does that thing hit and you're like, like now we just went from the -40 to the -20. Like, damn it,
Right.
Underrated skill, buddy.
Great point. All right. Till tomorrow. Sorry, not next time. Tomorrow.
I'm excited to talk to Coach, man. He was talking some real high level O-line play, like, and that was an all-star game. So, goddamn. Listen, you're only as good as your O-line. You know that.
Oh yeah. I could tell you by the O-line play what kind of position we're going to be in that game. Whether it's going to be a dogfight or we're going to. If my O-line is if your O-line and D-line are dominating, you're winning the game.
Yeah.
You're winning the game. Dude. Unless your running backs are dog shit, you're winning the game. And most people, the truth is today, I don't care where you go. In every town, there's some kid that can run the rock. There is.
There's a running back everywhere, dude. Even though over the last couple of years, I feel like the position's been diminished. Not diminished, maybe like, what's the word? Like it's just not the spotlight position like it used to be anymore. Obviously, quarterback's always been that, but everybody always talked about they got to run him. They got to run it back. They got to run it back. That's kind of been diminished, I think. But dude, there is still a dog out there in every town that can run the rock. Like,
no doubt. Just no doubt.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
Get after it today at practice. Go get him, buddy.
It'll be today's defense, so it's gonna be fun. Oh,
good.
I forgot to say was the go route when we only had 10 minutes to do Team D yesterday because we were kind of running. I didn't want to because it's the first day of school. I didn't want to run them over.
Oh God! Yesterday was the first day of school for those guys. Usually the worst practice of the year.
Worst practice here. So they all have the go routes on. They once we get to go routes on, I'm like, we got 10 minutes, dude. 10 minutes. We ran through 12 plays in 10 minutes.
That's awesome. We averaged
some work. They got some work.
Seconds of play the other night, dude.
What's that?
We were 15 seconds of play the other night.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying this is my scout team.
I know, but I'm telling you because I know you were like, hey, we always talk about pace and like you know what I mean, like, and you saw us like in our green white, and I just want like we were 15 seconds.
That's really fast.
Yeah, no shit. I have to signal it in.
That's really, really fast.
Dude, signal it. You got to see.
You guys only go one way, so
fucking-
it doesn't tire your defense, right? Because you only go one way, you guys.
The bulk of yeah, but 2D linemen go both ways. Jermaine goes both ways. And he ran, I'm telling you, Dave, if I'm telling you, I can't tell you, he ran so many jets the other night. And look, knock up, not one cramp.
Well,
fucking Tony Holler, bro.
Tony Holler. Tony Holler.
Listen, I do individual for wideouts. I don't run full routes. It is 5 yards, like 10 yards max on your routes. The stuff that we're doing, top of the route, like, because I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna kill them.
Right.
They'll have no legs. And we've been ice tubbing every day after practice. Get in that thing. It's amazing. We have 4 of them, 2 per, and we go. And I'm telling you, it has made a huge difference. Huge difference.
I'd love to do that with kids too.
David, it's all the kids. I mean, and dude, the kids, you know, it's like, you know, 3 buckets of ice per thing, 5. They're only in it 5 minutes, but like it is, whether it's placebo or not, they're like, Coach, I get out of this thing and I feel great.
I used to ice after everything.
Me too. I used to sit there and laugh at the linemen talking about God knows what the fuck
the linemen would love the ice tub.
Dude, they're just like, yeah, this is great, man. I'm like, dude, take your hat off. Like
I remember the guys really like, why?
Those are the locker. That's the locker room part of the game that I miss the most. Is I think that because look, there was no color of skin, there was no religion, there was no politics. The locker room, everybody was free game. I mean, dude, that's the part of sports that it's just that's the best part, man.
I used to love sitting in the ice tub and talking to the guy because you're capped. You're in there for 10 minutes at least. There's nobody. What are you going to do? You're just freezing. So you're talking.
Everybody is on the same level of.
And you're talking to you're just talking to whoever's next to you.
You're like, bro, I can't wait to freaking go get a burger, right? Dude, you got to try.
Yeah.
Yo, did you watch this show last night? That guy, this shit's great. Like, Coach is such an asshole. You're like, yeah, he is an asshole. Like,
and then coach comes into the tub.
Gets in the tub, and you're like, hey, Coach, how's your wife? Like, Coach, great call on 3rd and 10, man. That shit was sick. You're like,
that's the funniest when you be in there and you're like, Coach worked you hard, and you're like, oh, Coach is killing us. All of a sudden, Coach walks in. You're like, hey, Coach.
You're like, Coach, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. Great practice. Thanks so much. Like, we really fucking cried.
Well, you know, the funny, the guy who's the defensive backs coach for Tampa Bay, Nick Rapone, was our DC. And he used to be like, I know what you guys are saying. I know what like he would fuck with us. Then you're like freaked out. You're like,
Dude, I do the same shit. Like, right? Like, if I grab, because I told you I've been focusing on like actually like hydrating during practice as a coach, right? So if you're an injury, like you walk around with the little 6-pack of Gatorades, right? Like the bottles with water or whatever in it. So I'm like, hey, can I get one? And I get it. And like, you know, the kids are standing around. I'm like, yo, there's no point in this, right? Like, I know how you feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you can't stand Coach D. I say, I walk away and you're like, oh, that little fat bastard. Like, you know, he's whatever. Like, I know what you guys. No, Coach, no, we would never. I'm like, maybe I'll take this bottle, right? Like, you start fucking with them, and then they're like, oh shit, dude, Coach knows I talk shit about him. Like, it's the best thing.
Oh my god, that's great.
But then you love them up, man. You love them all the same, dude. Like, you coach them hard as hell, and you love them up, and they respect it. They get it. No, Coach, I know you only talk. I know you coach me, Coach. Like, if you weren't talking to me, I'd be scared, right? Because I've told them. That's where you're nervous. Like, if I'm on you and correcting you and like, you know, now look, I do that with everybody, but like, you know, it's like, there's a different level to it. Right. So you want to play college football? I'm going to tighten the belt. Like, dude, I'm going to coach you. Everything is going to matter. Right. Like, now, if you're just here to be a guy and want to play JV, like, I'm going to coach you hard, but it ain't going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So they respect it. I like it. That's what makes coaching great, dude. That's what makes it great to watch this go from like carrying a water bottle to being like a starter. I mean, shit, dude. We had a kid the other night. He had 2 picks. 2 picks. He came out to practice. He came out for the team last year because our quarterback was friends with him. And he's like, dude, you're coming to practice with me because I'm not driving you home before I go to practice. I'm going to be late. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll just play. He had 2 picks the other night.
But the JV game you're talking about, right?
We didn't play JV this week. He was on varsity. And last year he was a JV corner who couldn't tackle like a bag. And he had 2 picks and a huge play on specials where the punter tried to pull out a fake one and he ran through his chest. And it was like, holy shit. Like even my head coach was like, dude, nobody believed in that kid other than like you to be like, hey, keep working, do your thing. So, dude, that's the fun part, man. Like
that
seeing those guys that you're like, oh man, he's just on the team. And then you're like, nope, he had 2 picks. Like, okay.
It's awesome.
Senior year, bro. Senior year, something clicks for a lot of guys.
Yeah, well,
like, I'm never going to play this sport again.
Yeah.
I'm never going to put a helmet on. Right? Like, I'm never going to get to do this again. Maybe I should, like, actually listen. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
See you later.
Tomorrow.